Good morning, ninth graders. I wanted to help you out um, with the plot diagram. Some of you have had some questions about what I mean. And so when I looked at the survey that you completed yesterday, nobody picked that they were going to retell the story from the king's perspective. So I'm going to use that as an example of how you would create your own plot diagram to retell the story from your perspective. Now, when I look over here, starting with the title, I would go to my plot diagram, and in the title, it's still going to be the lady, and this is going to be a little bit small. It's going to be the lady or the tiger. I can type. Okay. The difference is now I'm going to be the author, so I would put my name. And it's still fiction, short story. Okay. Now the conflict, what I would decide is the conflict going to be the same or is it going to be different? And so I'm pretending I'm the king. So I go over here and I say, well, okay, what I would do is I would just copy and paste what you have on the original plot diagram. And then I would just put that over here. So conflict, type, and description. So person versus person. It's still the king, because now I'm the king telling the story, versus the lover, the young boy. And the princess versus the lady behind the door. That's probably still going to be true, because I'm going to know that my daughter, I've actually picked the girl to go behind the door. And then person versus self, that's going to change, because now it's going to be, oh no, I don't want that, sorry. Let me see if I can, it's still going to be, let's see, instead of the princess versus herself, it's going to be the king or myself versus myself. Yeah, probably want to do that, myself. And then fate probably still comes to play. I'm going to actually, now I am seeing myself as the protagonist, because I'm going to rewrite it. I think I am the good guy. I am the king. Okay. So let me fix that. And the primary goal is to keep the princess or my daughter safe, right? I don't want her to just fall in with any old guy. And then the antagonist becomes the boy, or the lover, okay? Now, what I would do is with the rising action, you know, I look on the original story and it's the description of the arena and the justice system. Well, how I'm going to rewrite that is how I found out about the justice system and why I feel like, as the king, this is a good way to rule my kingdom. So the story is going to probably start off about the same, except it's going to be retold from my perspective and why I think it's a good idea. Rising action 2, the young man and the princess fall in love and the king finds out. Well, that's going to probably stay the same too. I would probably, and actually I would probably rewrite the event number 1, if I can make, I'd probably rewrite that, event number 1, I'd probably say, I traveled to a neighboring kingdom and I decided to put a new system of justice into place. So then when I write my story, my exposition and laying down kind of what the story is going to be about is how I traveled to this kingdom. I saw how they did their system of justice and I liked it. Rising action 2 would be I found out my daughter, the princess, is dating a peasant. And I don't want her to be dating him. Rising action 2, and when we look at the original story, it says the tiger is picked as well as the maiden. So that would kind of stay the same, except I would reword it to I personally handpicked, if I can spell, it's so small, the tiger and the maiden. Okay. And then when I'm telling the story, I'm going to tell about how I went out and I had them find the fiercest tiger. And also how I know there is a certain girl in the village that my daughter despises and that it would really get to her if that girl married the boy. Okay. And then the fourth event, the princess discovers the secret. Okay. So that's going to change a little bit because this is my point of view of the story. So maybe I would say, I carefully guarded the secret of the doors. Even my daughter thinks she knows. And I would tell about that, like how everybody's trying to figure out who's behind what. The climax of the original story is without the slightest hesitation, he went to the door on the right and he picked it. Okay. So with this, the climax of the story, it doesn't have to end there. I could write, I could describe the boy picks the door and out comes and then I could decide, do I want the tiger to come out or the lady to come out? And then I actually could write the story, kind of what you did with your writing thing. I could pick my falling action. Depending on if I say the tiger, I could say, you know, and some of you, when you wrote, you were pretty detailed about how the tiger ripped the boy to shreds. Or you could go on and describe if you have tricked it so that the maiden's going to come out, that you've already got the wedding planned. But basically my resolution is going to be, because remember, I'm the king and I'm writing the story, is my daughter, the resolution, I saved my daughter, boy, that's bad, from marrying the wrong boy. Or I could say, maybe I, as the king, maneuver it so that my daughter marries the boy, but that's going to be my resolution. I think the theme is going to stay the same, to be honest with you, and that is that actions have consequences. So I'm going to keep that the same, okay? And then once I have written my own plot diagram, I'm going to use that to create my short story. That's going to guide me as I retell the story from my point of view as the king. So whatever story you pick, whether it's the sniper or the necklace, you need to pretend like you are the other character. You need to look carefully at the original plot diagram, decide what you're going to keep, what you're going to toss out, and then you start writing your story. All right, I hope this helps. Have a wonderful weekend.